What it do, what it do. We back. We back again. On the wakes of Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, that fight coming up. Thought I'd react to this video. Mike Tyson, all the knockouts. This quick little documentary on the upbringing. Let's get straight into it. Clean up my workspace.
He was the most amazing thing you had ever seen. He was this blur in the ring that just came in and destroyed anything.
No, he's just a bully. That's all he
Fine.
was.
And it worked.
He was like the human pit bull.
Against Mike Tyson, who is described as 5'11", looks close.
Even saying that he was the bully, what do you mean by that? He was a boxer. Just his style was
5'10" because of the
come forward.
squarishness of his build.
I was Skip
Disposed of
Bayless
Hector
talking too.
Mercedes inside a single round, and the question that most of the ringsiders are asking is, can he do the same thing again?
Well, I'm not from here. I'm from.
Mike Tyson, he definitely was like some type of phenomenal, one in a lifetime type creature. For real, because think about it. How many heavyweights, how many fighters in general is winning a world championship at 20 years old? Most of the time, they still, especially if they go to the Olympics, they usually go to the, I think you got to be 18 to go to the Olympics. You got to be 18. So most of the time, they usually go to the Olympics. And they usually, whatever happens in the Olympics, they come back. They usually go pro after that. After they go to the Olympics, do what they got to do, then they usually go pro. So they use about 20. You kind of like 10 fights in, 11 fights in. Not the heavyweight championship of the world. I think he was 21 or 20. One of the other.
From the dirt hard bones, segregated ghetto.
His life was very, very sad.
A lot of people like to talk about his record, but what he did, I think Mike Tyson peaked early. Most fighters usually peak around late 20s, early 30s. Mike Tyson peaked at fucking late teens. He peaked in his teen years. He was damn near peaking already.
Lived in Brownsville, really rough neighborhood. He stopped going to school around age 7. He was constantly getting evicted. His mother.
Because like around 30, Mike Tyson was kind of done. Like around 30, 32, he was kind of done. That wasn't the same Mike Tyson at 30, 32. Compared to who he was at 21, it was not the same person.
Different kinds of men in order to keep a roof over their heads. While Mike was in the bed, like inches from him, his mother had sex with a
Got
man.
into robbing people when you were 7. You really had no supervision.
Mike Tyson was sent to the Tryon Youth Correctional Facility in upstate New York after growing up as a mugger and predator on the streets of Brooklyn.
At 12, Tyson was a tough young mugger.
I got into trouble, and I went away to this reformatory upstate New York, and then I met a gentleman named Bobby Stewart that was a boxer.
Tyson told Stewart that he wanted to learn how to box. Stewart then brought Tyson to a gym above the police station in Catskill, New York, to meet Customato,
who was a legendary fight manager.
Even at like 15, Mike Tyson was like almost 200 pounds at 15.
Trainer and a magnificent man. He taught
And it wasn't
Mike
fat.
from the age of 13 to the age of 19 how to control his emotions.
We saw Mike Tyson's professional debut, hard to believe
For
it,
60 years.
just about a month ago.
In watching the early Mike Tyson fights, he seems to be like an unstoppable force, uniquely devastating, uniquely offensively capable.
Down goes Singleton again, left hook this time. This boy
Yeah,
is
19, 20-year-old Tyson, he was a murderer.
tough. Trent Singleton in all sorts of trouble. We're already in round 1. The referee humanely has seen enough. Tyson shrugs almost.
5'10", devastating.
The fight is over so quick.
Customato had a tremendous influence on Mike Tyson.
I met this white guy, he was strange, a little odd, and he started saying things like, wow, you could be the greatest fighter ever lived.
Early in the 4th, can Tyson finish this? I think so.
That was that last blow was at while he was, that was to a downed opponent, so they could have disqualified him for that, but they didn't, because I mean clearly he was winning. He won the fight. The dude was done. You know what I'm saying? That last blow wasn't the ultimate determinant factor of who was going to win this fight. So
Fierce.
That's it. See, ain't no way he's going to hit you then, right? And remember, it's always good to throw the punch where you could hit him and he can't hit you. That's what the science of boxing is all about.
He's wearing the white trunks with green trim. He is undefeated in 3 professional bouts, all victories, all
5'10",
knockouts.
217, bruh. I'm 200 pounds now. I'm 6'2", 200 pounds. And I just reached 200 pounds like 4 years ago. I used to always be like around 180.
And a big hand for Mike Tyson.
You would get into the ring, and people were scared of you. Were you channeling the anger that you had from your childhood?
I think a lot of it had to do with that, you know. And I realized that every fight was a decision.
Most fighters, even if it's not like he channeling some anger from his youth or whatever the case may be, most fighters tend to come from bad upbringing, so rough upbringings most of the time. Because what other reason, why else would you want to get into a sport where you get punched in the face? Think about it. If you grew up with both parents, y'all was, you know what I'm saying, pretty well off. You don't have to be rich or not, just pretty well off where you wasn't struggling and fighting for every meal that you was getting or running the streets to get in and out of jail. Mama ain't around. Daddy ain't around. Once you grew up in a pretty stable home, you're probably not going to become a boxer or MMA fighter. It's very rare. Some of them do. Some of them do. Not saying it's 100% absolute. There's no absolute in anything. But most of the time, they won't go down that path because you don't have no reason to. It takes a different type of hunger and to want to do this for a living. And most kids who grew up pretty privileged don't do that. You see Chavez Sr., you see Chavez Jr., he's a fuck up. He's an ultimate fuck up. Why? Because his father was great. He grew up rich pretty much, not wanting for anything. Wasn't struggling in Mexico. He was living pretty good. So that's why he's a fuck up now.
If I'm going to go back to that lifestyle or not.
God damn.
The legs have gone. This is all over. Yes,
God
it
damn.
Is. I don't
Bro.
believe it.
One thing I'll say too, a lot of the times, I think a lot of these dudes was just terrified of Mike Tyson. Not saying he didn't hit them, but I think a lot of them could have got up after he hit them and they was just like, you know what? I'm just going to stay down here. I genuinely believe that. A lot of these dudes, I don't think they was like just out. I think they was like, okay, I'm going to just stay down. Fuck it. Get my money and go home.
Cuss took us to the gym and pointed to a young boy who was hitting the heavy bag very ferociously and said, that's Mike Tyson. Not only is he here, but he will undoubtedly go on to become the youngest heavyweight champion in history.
Look at the size of him. He looks like the Incredible Hulk. He really does. Case, I'm glad I'm not Michael Jackson.
You look at the Incredible Hulk. Especially that angle, that duck down and that ankle right there. The body's right there. Boom! And you get all that. Ooh, I know that body shot hurt.
He looked
vicious.
Planet of ability.
Boom.
I'll tell you,
like that dude. I think he was rocked, but I think he could have got up. I mean, I don't know. I didn't get punched. But I'm
far more than a big puncher. He's a very good boxer.
Yeah, a lot of people sleep on Mike Tyson defense. I don't know what every time you talk about Mike Tyson, he was just so devastating, ferocious. He was this, he was that. Mike Tyson had good defense, especially in his younger days, like when he was still like Tyson. He had really good defense.
19 years of age, long is 27. Oh, that's it. Wow, the left hand puts him down. He collapses, and this one is over as the doctors rush into the ring.
Like, get your ass up off the ground. When I see them on the ground, that remind me of LeBron. Like, get your ass up off the ground.
A big heavyweight. He's only a kid.
He had this body that could really fool you into forgetting that he was still a kid who had to develop.
Left hook. Good night.
18, 19 years old at this time. It's like, yo, what the fuck are we seeing? This is an 18-year-old dusting dudes off in the heavyweight division. That shit is unheard of.
People eye sockets. And that, to me, man, that's a high. You have to see that guy did this.
When he was being trained by Customato, he was living the complete total existence of a man hell-bent on becoming a world champion.
The help that Cus gave Mike was not only in the ring, but out of the ring.
Being part of Cus D'Amato's family was...
It was just one. It was a whole. It was everything. Mental. Everything had a part to play in his focus. Once Cus dipped, a lot of the vultures came in. People coming around. You're not training as hard. Your father figure not there no more. That motivation. I honestly believe that if Cus was still around, like let's say he lived 10 more years, I think Tyson would have went. I think some of them losses he got, I don't think it would have never happened.
It is the hardest you're ever. It's on my whole career, man. But it's getting.
Motherfucker forgot how to talk. That motherfucker forgot how to speak English. He got hit so hard. God damn.
Anything to do with him. I mean, no fighter wants to get run over by a truck.
One of the things that's always fascinated me about you is this ability you have to intimidate opponents. A lot of them seem to have been beaten before they got in the ring almost, or when they caught your eye when they got in the ring.
I don't know why, because he wasn't doing shit.
First punch he threw.
Hold on.
Oh my!
Mike Tyson, when the bell rings, he conducts himself as if someone stole something from him.
He was so short and he had this crazy style
he
of
conducts himself like someone stole something from him.
Ridiculous power and speed punching.
Mike Tyson, without a doubt, one of the bright stars in the heavyweight picture, now goes to 11-0 with 11 knockouts. It was the first punch thrown in the fight.
If you look at early Mike Tyson, the way he was running his way through the heavyweight division,
But he was far more than a big puncher. He was a very good boxer. He could jab, he could move, as well as punch. So he was virtually the complete article. And he had that knockout punch in both hands. And of course, when anybody goes to see heavyweight boxing,
niggas used to try to make Tyson seem like he was just a knockout guy. That motherfucker had skills.
God forbid, if anything happened to Cus, we're all professionals, and we're going to continue. And the outcome is going to be the same.
Because they know that too. I mean, at any time he could go.
Died.
He was like my father. I never really
Just
had
like
a father
that.
figure.
The late and legendary trainer Cus D'Amato was the only real father figure Mike Tyson ever knew.
the death of Cus D'Amato was clearly a huge issue.
Well, when Cus D'Amato died, I think is when it all starts really going to crap for Tyson.
What led him to success was having a very strict mentor/coach, Cus D'Amato.
Fight number 13 for Mike Tyson. We're back in late.
I mean, he kept going, but
It's the same Mike
he didn't
Tyson,
just
it is
completely
not the
fall
same
off like they
fight
making it
as
seem. But
second fight,
he wasn't the same. Well, he didn't stay as good as long as if Cus was there. If Cus was there, I think he could have stayed at the top for a lot longer. And all them ups and downs that he had, it probably would have never happened. That's just what I think. Especially with his boxing career. I think because he respected Cus so much. So if Cus tell him, "Yo, you got to train, you got to do this," he basically, he even said that. He was just like a rabid pit bull with Cus. Like, whatever he tell him to do, he's going to do it, especially when it comes to training. So he would have always been fight ready. You know what I'm saying? He would have always been ready to go to war. Outside of the cage, all the mental stuff with the hoes and all that stuff getting caught up, you can't stop that. Cus can't really stop that. You gonna fuck hoes, pop these bottles, you getting money, and driving Rolls Royces and Lamborghinis. You can't stop that. But when it comes to the fighting and the training, I think he would have stayed on top for a lot longer if Cus was
him down.
So now Mike Tyson is 13-0. All of his victories coming by knockout, and no bout has gone past the fourth round.
Every fight is a 30-second assault. Those 80s
Yeah,
fights
that's how it
with
was
Tyson,
back
where he
with
would just
Tyson.
show up and look at people and they would melt.
If you blink in the first round, you'll probably miss a Mike Tyson fight.
Just grazed that nigga with just grazed him with a hook, and he fell down. It's disgusting.
The crowd chanting the next heavyweight
That's the end of
champion,
that.
Mike Tyson. You definitely are going to hear more about him.
And the next thing you know, Mike Tyson was like the hottest up-and-coming fighter.
He has an ability to slip punches that has not been
Dude caught him
seen in
there.
the heavyweight ranks since Muhammad
Crazy. Well,
Ali.
he's already coming up with that.
And down.
He went out there and everybody
One punch. That's how it was. What? Back in the 80s? I was born 92, so. But I knew, I heard they was the worst thing watching a Mike Tyson fight. This is, what the fuck? 1 minute, 2 minute You go, you look away, you go grab some shit, you come back, ding, 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 ding. What the fuck, bruh? Yeah, you don't want to pay for that shit on pay-per-view. I mean, it's good if you want to see somebody get annihilated, but goddamn.
But here, the spotlight falls most directly on 20-year-old.
And that's the thing about Tyson. He was so devastating, especially in the early rounds. Most fighters is not dispatching motherfuckers that quick. They'll beat them up 4th, 5th, maybe 6, 7 rounds. Tyson 1 round, 2 round, you got it in. And he was just so aggressive. Out. Motherfucker sleeping on himself.
It did not last 20 seconds.
He will have a shot, it appears, at the heavyweight title.
He is the WBC heavyweight champion of the world.
When you would enter the ring, already popping sweat, black shoes, no socks, black trunks.
Everybody will say that no socks thing. Mike Tyson, he even cleared that up. He's like, I did wear socks. It just was no socks, so you couldn't tell.
On the line, the WBC heavyweight championship of the world. As soon as you stepped in the ring, the other guy across the ring, what were you thinking? I mean, because he was thinking, oh, that's my ass.
Any question from the champion or Chief Sergeant? All right, let's get it on. Come on.
You motherfucker scared of it. You can't believe.
Pound for pound, Mike Tyson, the greatest fighter of our era.
God damn. That motherfucker Burbick was scared to death. He was scared to death, boy. This motherfucker. Look at him. Look at him. Fell down, dude.
Mike is a boy prodigy. He's 20 years old. He is quite an incredible force in the heavyweight division, but he's just a boy.
Cause they know that at 20, you just was a year ago. You was 19, he was a teenager just a year ago. So you still a kid for real.
Became the youngest heavyweight champion in boxing history. His managers.
Most time at 20, you probably got 10 fights. Still trying to work your way up the rankings. He just kissed that man. Every time I see that video, it's like people don't think say nothing. He kissed that man's on the lips. All right, just pointing that out.
20 years old. After less than 2 rounds, you're the heavyweight champion of the world.
But in March of 1988, Jacobs died, and Tyson lost his second father substitute. Before Jacobs was buried, Don King made his move.
And that created the opening, the opportunity for Don King to move.
Everybody try to make it out to seem like Don King is some type of crooked and the worst promoter that ever exists. Bro, Bob Arum is a piece of shit. Most promoters are pieces of shit. The only promoter I never heard anything negative about is Al Heyman. Every other promoter, they all pieces of shit. They only care about themselves. Like Eddie Hearn, a piece of shit. All them pieces of shit. They all lie. They all gonna finesse money out of you. I never heard Eddie finessing no money out of nobody, but Bob Arum, that's all he do is rob niggas. Everybody left Bob Arum. Why is that? Come on, Bob. One, he's racist. He can't promote black fighters for one. That's not the place where you want to be if you're become a fighter top rank. And a black fighter, you don't want to be there. I know you get in there to get your feet wet, but the minute you get the opportunity, get the fuck away from Bob Arum.
Confused 21-year-old kid.
But they always talk about Don King like the worst piece of shit to ever exist. Like, bro, Don King put on some of the best fights back in the 80s and the 90s. Don't let these people fool you.
We're very interested in taking over Mike's career.
They moved into a grand New Jersey mansion.
This is where Mike Tyson was just dumb. He fucked up a lot of his bread. It wasn't that fucking dumb. He was just dumb and living life in La La Land, running around with this fucking harlot. He running around with this bitch. You think this bitch is looking at you a year? Yo, bro. Oh my God, it's disgusting. You would have never had a chance with this bitch when he was coming out of Brownsville. Now you laid up. This bitch only wanted the bag. She took over all his finances. That's how you know he was a kid and he was goofy. You know he was goofy because he's only 20 years old. She's 20. I don't know how old she was, but 20, hundreds of millions of dollars. Come on, bro. You're gonna fuck it up.
Robin, Givens,
look at him.
Tyson.
Just lusted after the bitch. Oh my God.
Things. She is one hell of a fine lady.
How does a woman who went to Sarah Lawrence and Harvard Medical School wind up falling in love with a guy who's a graduate of the School of
That's how you know. But they love the roughnecks though. This bitch went to medical school. You fucking with a murderer in the ring. They like them roughnecks.
God, I want to know too.
God damn. God damn. God damn. This dude here got a chin. Because his face is still intact. The fact that his face is not like... The fact that he still has a face? Tough, man. Don King, boy, with that haircut, boy. Tyson.
Greed reaches at the deepest core of people.
Run around with this Harley. Look at her. You see a fucking... What is she? A fucking... A harpy lady. One of them harpies. That's what that bitch is right there. Swoop in and drink your blood. Take all your nutrients and your goddamn marrow.
For me and stuff and all that crap, and then that made it easy for Don King to sneak in and...
It was reported to us here in New York that Robin and Ruth were at the bank already claiming Mike's account.
No one can challenge Mike Tyson right now. You can take it.
Her mama. Come on. The mama like, go get his little stupid ass. How old? 20? Girl, we got him. Go get him.
There was a lion in the front yard, loose. Wow. He was on the steps like this.
I remember hearing this story. I watched this whole thing.
What?
R.I.P. Charlie Murphy too.
How come nobody wants to get out the car and play with my cat?
The title brought fame, money, and temptation.
$4.5 million on automobiles and motorcycles. Once crashed your Rolls Royce and told cops to keep it.
Pretty much, he was on coke all the time. He would walk around with a brick of coke as his personal stash.
Tyson reverted back to what he thought he was at heart, which was
that was the 80s and the 90s. Look at them. Why do you think they always should be dancing like that? Every time you look at the bitches in the club back in the day, they was all geeking and sneaking. They all just fucking in the club like this. Every time you see them, bro, they used to be geeked up back in the day. Watch them in them nightclubs.
This heavy metal sound that you hear is Mike Tyson about to make his way in, I
They up in the club, sneaking and geeking. That's all they doing.
The sound is deafening here in the arena, so I won't try to yell over it. All I can say is...
Like the Terminator coming in.
Yeah,
I don't know, like, I don't know, it seems to give you like a Terminator vibe.
Everything that Tyson does is intimidating. There he is. He comes out. He doesn't wear a coat in. He's worked up a full sweat. I want to tell you, the electricity in this crowd is awesome.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, once and for all, let's get ready to rumble.
Dispatched him.
There he goes. I don't think he'll get up from this.
That motherfucker had 2 knee braces on. He knew that fight was gonna last. This motherfucker got 2 knee braces on. Motherfucker got bad knees. Come on, bro.
Unbelievable strike. It came in the first round.
How many people could handle that too? I mean, you're
Look at her.
20, the fame,
Babe, how much you
age,
mean?
you're the champion, the best
You know
man
she
alive.
already counting that bread. Like,
Mike
yep.
really turned into the Mike we know today, as his marriage to Robin Gibbons came apart. So
Married this, and that's the thing. He married her quick too. You barely knew.
Robin Gibbons told Barbara Walters that Tyson was a manic depressive.
He gets out of control. Throwing, screaming.
A charge.
Yo, this interview. Go back and watch that interview, bro. Mike, yeah, he looked like he wanted to kill the bitch. He's just like, I can't believe this funky harlot is up here saying this about me.
He shakes, he pushes, he swings.
But when I look back at it now, I can't believe I sat there and didn't say anything.
The soap opera marriage of boxing champ Mike Tyson and
Because it's like, what do you... And I know why he didn't say anything.
So she brought a gun.
Because you're a big, scary black man. You definitely a big, scary black man in general, because you're a fucking heavyweight champion of the world. You fight for a living, so you are a big, scary black man. And even if you didn't do that, you're a big, scary black man. You better shut the fuck up.
To me in the car, he had no idea. He didn't see me. But then when he got out the
Yeah,
car,
over this
he saw
story
me.
too. Brad Pitt was fucking her. You know how that go. What the fuck you pulling up to the house for? To knock her boots down.
Tyson's in Japan to defend
Knock her
his
goddamn
heavyweight
boots
boxing
down.
title against
Oh,
James Buster
man.
Douglas.
Within 2 hours of the champion's arrival here,
White man.
Tyson Mania was in full cry.
I'll leave it at
Tyson,
this.
Tyson.
He clearly was very distracted coming into the fight.
stressed out beyond comprehension. I wonder why.
Tyson. Yo, Mike Tyson. I wasn't around really the heights because I was born 92, but listen to me. He had to be the biggest star in the world at these times. He had to be. He even said it. He was like, he's making more money than actors and shit. Them actors, them A-list celebrities, especially in the 80s, they not getting no $40-50 million check. No. $20 million movie. No. That's not happening. Mike Tyson was getting more money than actors and celebrities. Like, that's what he was doing back in the 80s. $20-30 million. Niggas getting that now and thinking that's big bread. He was getting that in the 80s.
He'd been knocked down in sparring.
He stopped moving his head. He began to accept clinches. He started to jab less. You could see that.
He was geeked up. He even said too he was out there with Bobby Brown. Said him and Bobby Brown was just sniffing cocaine and fucking hoes all night. All night. That's what they was doing all night. And that's what happened.
Decline in the road. His boxing technique began to decline.
Fucking hoes and sniffing cocaine and just partying all night.
Through your memory for the biggest upset in heavyweight championship fight history.
Buster Douglas wouldn't, shouldn't, and couldn't have. Wasn't supposed to be Mike Tyson's. He won. That's like the Anthony Joshua Ruiz. I don't even like Anthony Joshua, but that wasn't supposed to happen. That was like a fluke, random, like shit that don't happen every day. That's why it was such a. They made a whole documentary on this shit because it was so shocking. Even till this day, people are mad this happened. People who was Mike Tyson fans till this day upset about this fight because you wasn't supposed to lose to no Buster Douglas. Like, there's certain people, all right, people will be able to accept it. Like Holyfield, all right, that makes sense. Lennox Lewis makes sense. Buster Douglas? Oh no. You could tell he wasn't moving his head. He wasn't there. He would have dusted Buster Douglas off 2-3 rounds if he was there.
Icy water into a latex glove to hold against his eye, and suddenly it became clear
he got dropped in sparring. Oh,
they didn't have any equipment.
Mike Tyson had actually won the fight in the 8th round when he dropped Buster Douglas, and that count was excessively long.
And there's a right hand uppercut, and down goes Douglas. As suddenly as that.
It's a 10-second count. This is how you know it's fuck shit. Even the Wilder Fury, I think 3rd fight, it was a long count, and 1st fight, it was a long count. You know what the referee said after the 3rd Wilder versus Fury fight? It's not a 10-second count. It's a 10 count whenever he get to 10. Bruh, corruption ain't the word in boxing. That's why I kind of fell off of boxing. Like, I don't really fuck with boxing like that because I can't deal with that shit. Nah, man. How the fuck? Fuck happened to the sound? I'm like, what the my shit tripping?
It was the beginning of the end of Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson that we knew.
Yeah, the mystique kind of left after that because it was like, what the fuck? Because he was the destroyer, and you lost I think Buster Douglas was like an 8 or 10-1. Come on, underdog. Like, so you put $100 on him, you win $1,000.
You were convicted and sent to prison for rape, which you write and you talk about in your Broadway show that you did not do.
Look at them.
Saw what Robin Givens got out of him.
He's someone that he has so much money. He's always throwing it around. I might as well get a piece of it. You know, that's how people looked at it.
Yeah, look at them. He like her. He like that one. You see how he walking. He stopped. He like, ooh, this is the one, right? Like it was like he walking down a fucking. You know when you in the store, you just picking. Ooh, like that remind me of Cat Williams. When he was doing the Michael Jackson thing, he was like, "Ooh, I like that one." that's like how he was looking.
The Indiana Youth Center. Tyson was back in the set.
You see, he stopped and he hugged that one. He didn't hug none of the other ones. He liked her.
Had tried to prevent had come true.
Let me run back. She was kind of cute.
Don King. And they destroyed the greatest fighter I've ever seen.
The debt is
of Don.
throwing it around.
You saw what Robin Givens got out
Look
of
at
it.
him. Look at him. Look at
Someone
him.
that he has so much money. He's always throwing it around.
His
I might
Black
as well get a
America.
piece
Oh, I
of it.
think
You know,
that was
that's
the
how people
girl
look
with
at
the
it.
thing that happened. Look at that.
Serving a 6-year term.
Look at
at the
her.
Indiana
Yeah, busting them dance
Tyson
moves. She doing them
back in the
dance
70s
moves.
knew all too well.
Everything his adopted father, Customato, had
Bro,
tried
look at
to
the size of
prevent
Mike Tyson
had
neck.
come
Every time I
true
see him in that
under the
suit, that picture is,
tutelage
yo,
of
he
Don
has
King.
no neck.
They destroyed
All them
the
fucking neck
greatest
bridges. He
fighter
said his
I've
neck
ever
fucked up
seen.
till this day because of that. Like, he says his neck fucked up till this day from doing all that. That's just not good for your neck, bro.
Prison term over. 3 years ago tomorrow, Mike Tyson entered an Indiana penitentiary.
Tyson went straight into training, and the fights came back.
Yes, Tyson is back, and with him comes...
The crazy part, too, he didn't have to do much training because he was in jail for 3 years. He ain't doing nothing else. He ain't sniffing no cocaine, smoking no weed. You're not doing nothing. So all he was doing in there is working out. So when he came out, bro, he was ripped. I never seen Tyson with like a real, like he had like an 8-pack, bro, when he came out of jail. Because all you doing is working out.
Through all the upheaval, Tyson remained the sport's most famous and infamous figure and its biggest box office draw.
Now, if the former champion is to climb the mountain one more time, that journey must begin tonight in impressive fashion.
They wanted to see, people like to see destruction. Because Tyson was the biggest star around these times. He was like the Canelo at that time.
Any questions from Mr. Tyson's corner? Let's get it on!
Seconds into the first round. Feels right this time, Steve. He's very hurt. He can barely stand up. And that is it. Just like that, it's over.
The convict was still a draw. His very
Mike
first
was
fight
ripped
after
up.
release won him $25 million.
25 million. Think about that. Think about that. $25 million in the early 90s. Was that the 90s? Yeah, that was the 90s when he got locked up, bro. That's the 90s. 25 of them things. Niggas is barely making that today. Some of the heavyweights making that today. Joshua made like 30. Ngannou made 20. Yeah, they getting that today. I think AJ made like 50 when he fought Ngannou. How much AJ made for Ngannou? I know Ngannou made 20. I think AJ made like 30, if I'm not bugging. But yeah.
I mean, you're an incredibly wealthy man.
I don't know.
And you got to think about inflation and shit like that. That $25 million equivalent to today, that's like $30-something million in today's money.
Most of my jokes are free, you know, but yeah, I had fun.
Look at him, look at him, look at him, look at him. Oh, well, yeah, you know he had fun. Come on. You Tyson.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Why'd you say that? Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Come on, you know he had fun.
And here he is, the walking powerhouse, Mike Tyson, who says his objective simply is to throw punches at all times. A very loose-looking Bruce Seldon, a very serious-looking...
It's your big
unified champion
Frank Bruno built looking ass out there, Frank.
One round knockout.
Yeah, Frank wasn't nothing.
After being out of prison,
I think he beat Frank Bruno twice. Every time he fought him, he beat the shit out of Frank.
I really thought I was somebody special then, because no one's ever done that, not even Muhammad Ali. And then once again, I let everything go away, and I believed I was a god. I believed I was great. I didn't believe I had to train for nobody.
Holyfield, boy.
Afraid of me.
Real deal. They don't call him the real deal for nothing. No, shut the fuck up. They'll call him the real deal for nothing, bro.
Do anything about it.
No one warned him. No one took any points for him. What am I to do?
I like Holyfield too, like his style. Holyfield had really good rhythm. That's why I like Holyfield. Like he was always on his toes. Like he had good, and he was like Holyfield was a warrior for real. Because Holyfield didn't really have Tyson type power, like one punch knocking you out, starching you. He could knock you out, but most of the time it's an accumulation. That's why Holyfield kind of got the fucked up slurring CTE kind of thing going on right now, because he used to take a lot of punishments in this fight, because he was a warrior. He was in there, he was fighting. 4-time heavyweight champion of the world, like the motherfucker's a beast.
Tyson. He's got bit in the ear. Oh my goodness, he's got a bloody right ear. Holyfield bit by a dirty Mike Tyson.
So we go back in, then all of a sudden,
Bite him again.
this year.
No, Holyfield want to throw it. Tyson trying to fight everybody. Holyfield like, yo, what's good with this dude?
and you'll pay to see them. But this
And
time
you'll
you're
pay
gonna
to see
pay
them.
twice as much.
My style is impetuous.
I just thought you were gonna be twice as
and I'm
much.
just ferocious. I want you to
Oh, that's
hold
fucked
your
up.
children.
Oh, for a motherfucker to say that after that performance, like, what the fuck you mean? Yeah, you gonna pay twice as much to see it next time. Because after that, you definitely want to see it again. You definitely want to see something else. And Holyfield beat him the second time.
There's a lack of challenge then. There's a lack of...
This was
there's
when
no
it
more
was pretty
mountain.
much over.
So now it's just chaos and cocaine and women and then eventually the wheels fall off.
I was madly in love with Customato. I became, he broke me down and rebuilt me back up, and I became totally...
I'm telling you, if he just lived 10 more years, just to like 95, 96, if he went...
You can let that punch go.
Stewart has stated categorically that he knows he needs to keep throwing punches to try to keep Tyson occupied. If he stops throwing, he'll be dead. This could be quick.
I was afraid of a 30-second sound.
Yo, I see why he was like the man.
Tyson was exceptional. To use the word animal might be a bit of disrespect, really, but he certainly was in the ring. I mean, he feared nothing.
He was an animal.
Mike permits himself to be pushed around. He is one person in the ring and a completely different person when we go out.
Look at you scared now, you hoe. Scared like a little white Scared of the real man. I'll you till you love me.
By the looks of this guy, this is not consensual sex we're talking about.
Kevin told us this guy's going to be champion as long as he wants to be champion, and it's obvious he wants to continue being champion.
What will people remember about Mike Tyson 50 years from now?
50 years? I don't know, that most destructive, ferocious fighting machine that God ever created. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, at that time, I mean, how could you really argue with the man at that time? Well, that's the end of the video. Like and subscribe. I'll be back to y'all with another one. Let's go.